Who is Rhys Williams? In this video, we expose the secret funders behind businessman Rhys Williams.
I'm going to ask for all the speakers if they could kindly make their way to the stage.
Radicalizing children, they devour the young soul.
Williams is tied to the now unmasked anonymous X account Holy Heka Tui Tika for launching targeted smear campaigns. But the real question is, who was pulling the strings? While promoted as a grassroots gathering with anti-trans undertones, the event was carefully structured to push right-leaning narratives and sway public opinion in subtle, calculated ways.
Readers should be able to rely on mainstream media for accuracy. The media needs to die in New Zealand. I think that's going to happen very soon. Yeah.
But Williams' connections run deeper than the public realise. In an interview with journalist Sean Plunkett from The Platform, Williams confirmed that the event was backed by a third-party promoter with strong ties to New Zealand First.
The name of this, our group is Inflection Point New Zealand, so we're definitely
Inflection Point New Zealand, okay.
Correct.
I again ask though, who paid for the venue?
Well, it's at this date, the venue was paid, as I mentioned earlier. That was from a third-party promoter who had paid and booked that event for New Zealand First.
And who was the third-party promoter?
Well, SB Group.
Yeah, okay.
You've actually had SB Group on.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And I'm just doing this in the interest of full disclosure.
Groups like this operate in grey zones of political funding. They are able to channel financial support without public disclosure, bypassing the transparency rules required of official political parties. SB Group is led by political lobbyist Glenn Inwood, known for his long-standing advocacy on behalf of New Zealand First. So the question is, this a strategic influence or shadowing manipulation? Inflection Point brought together right-wing influencers, politicians and commentators under the guise of cultural dialogue. But its speaker lineup and framing revealed a clear partisan leaning.
Men are not women, even if you squint. We absolutely reject gender ideology was ever part of our culture.
But behind the scenes, it was propped up by well-connected figures with partisan agendas.
And we sent an invitation to New Zealand First, and I'd really like to extend a warm welcome to Tanya Unkovic, who's a Member of Parliament. No matter what your voting preference is or your political persuasion or who you support, it cannot be ignored that New Zealand First has been, out of the political parties, the lone party pushing the issues that we are here for today.
Or do I have to bend down a bit, or can you hear me okay? I wasn't planning to speak, so I've just written a few notes on the back of my boarding card. Should be enough. Look, one thing I love about New Zealand First is we're prepared to listen to all New Zealanders. I'm standing here today to do what I believe has to be done.
On May 20, 2024, the platform aired the full interview between Plunkett and Williams.
Well, it's at this date, the venue was paid, as I mentioned earlier. That was from a third-party promoter who had paid and booked that event for New Zealand First.
And who was the third-party promoter?
Well, SB Group.
There wasn't any voice distortion or anonymity. After the news broke about Green MP Benjamin Doyle and his resurfaced social media posts, which were taken out of context,
the vast majority of New Zealanders will not tolerate violent and malicious rhetoric in our country. They will not accept toxic conspiracies which attempt to bully and threaten queer people out of public life. I refuse to be disappeared by hate.
As Thisquality understands, the interview between Plunkett and Williams was quietly removed. The actual time and date the interview was removed is not exactly known. At Thisquality, we posted about the missing footage, and the pressure mounted. Plunkett later confirmed to us that the video had been temporarily removed, but reinstated. However, that version of that video is not searchable anywhere. It could have been to protect Williams and his family, or employment status. However, it is still highly questionable. The timing of Plunkett and his team taking down the video has raised some red flags about transparency. At the time, the anonymous Holiheka Tuiteka account had no identity revealed behind it. The account attacked Doyle on multiple occasions. The sudden attempt to obscure his identity in a later interview uploaded on the platform.
I've taken the unusual step of allowing this interview subject to be anonymous. I do know who this person is, and I've met them before, but they have asked, and we'll get a little bit into this, to be anonymous for the purposes of this. We're going to call them Holiheka, which is an X handle that this person has. Excuse me, for the purposes of this interview, Holiheka, and Holiheka joins us, and excuse us if this might sound a little muffled or weird. We're just taking some steps to protect the anonymity of our interview subject here, but I will attest as to the fact this is a real person. This is the person that led the compilation of the information around Green MP Benjamin Doyle, and Holiheka joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, we've got you there.
In the end, Williams used the anonymous platform that he had created and target particular individuals. It's not natural or organic until the post revealed who he really was. A businessman running a toxic campaign against Doyle. However, now there's more connections that are coming to light, and the mask has slipped. The public are asking questions. Who's really behind this narrative?